Hello, hello, hello. Good can I get moed? This learning session is dedicated to Elise and the Shama of my mother-in-law, Carl and Selma Bas Irving, who passed away on Erev Pesach.
Oh,
So, yeah. So this year is for her.
condolences.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, tonight is a great night. We're getting into the seventh night, the Kriyas Yamsuf. So let's start with Sipurey Baal Shem Tov. This week's story is about village Israelova. They said that the Ruzhin Rebbe got to a small village in Ukraine called Israelova. And obviously the name here mentions the name Israel. So he asked the people in the village, but nobody knew, what the answer was. The biggest pella is that not even one of the people of the village was Jewish. So before he kept on investigating what was the source for this, strange name for a Goyish village in Ukraine. So they told him, there's an old guy that lives at the very edge of the forest, and maybe he can answer. So to look for them, and the door was opened by an elderly gentleman, and he looked at, see the Rebbe, so what are you looking, what are you doing here? So when he found out what he was looking for, he said, I'll tell you what is the source of this name. He said, when I was a child, I was a shepherd, and I shepherded my flock between mountains, far from people. And by evening time, I would bring, the sheep, the flock, to a river that goes, by the mountains. So one day, when I did it, I counted the sheep, and I saw that I'm missing one. And this happened every single day. I counted the sheep, and I'm missing one. So I decided that I'm not going to let go, and I'm not going to fall asleep. I just go to watch my flock very carefully. And I saw, a wolf coming close and want to take a sheep. So I decided to stand on guard and try to chase him away. But wolves are not that easily discouraged. And he came to me, but nobody heard me. I started screaming, nobody heard me. I was amongst the mountain. I was, far away from other people. So I started worrying, I was scared. I was scared for my life. So suddenly I saw a young lad, Jewish lad, that was making, was just walking alone by himself, in solitude amongst the mountains, deep in his thoughts with his Sfarim. I said to him, Israel, Israel, help me. When the wolf was mamish like a few feet from me. And really so Israel got up from his seat. He says, don't be afraid. The wolf is not going to hurt you. But the wolf continued to get closer to me, and suddenly he fell, as if as if he was shot or something. The wolf was dead, and I was saved. And at that moment, I understood that this young boy, is a holy man, and his name was Israel. And from that day, I started following him, to learn from his deeds. And I saw that every day he comes to this area and he dunks in the river. And that's the way he did every single day. Now, during the winter, when there was snow, I saw that he comes, to Teufel in the river. I didn't believe, because most of the river was frozen. But this young Israel did not give up, and he dunked himself in the river. So after a while, one of the people in the village felt bad for a few days, and he passed by the river and drank from it, and he became healthy. And so it happened that everybody that some kind of a trouble, some kind of an illness, drank from the water of this holy river and became healthy. Until the rumor of this holy river, became a wide known, went viral, as they say, went in all the village, and I started telling everybody, whatever happened to me with this boy Israel and the wolf, and the fact that he dunks himself in the river, and everybody agreed with me that the river has become holy, be the schus of this Israel, and they all call the river the holy fountain. And very short while, a lot of people came, and they built houses around this river, and I'm one of them. And this is how the village Israelova came into being, on the name of the Holy Israel. And one day, when I was shepherding my flock, this Israel came to me, and he thanked me on the help that I helped him with that particular morning snow. He says, I bless you with longevity and many, many good years. And he said, one day, he told him, a person will come to you that will ask you about the source of this village. Accept him, personally, and tell him the entire story. And until that day, I promise you longevity and health. And the old man finished his story, and suddenly the Urginer and the old man understood the meaning of the last sentence. Until that time, I promised longevity in years. And the old man just, passed away. So the Urginer said, this is the oldest Simonim. This most certainly was Sipurey Baal Shem Tov. Sichos Haran. So here we are, Chol HaMoed Pesach. We spoke about how the significance of refraining from chometz and eating only matzah. But there's another aspect of Yom Tov, of the three Yom Tovim, of Pesach and Shavuos and Sukkot, that need to be explained. And that is that, Shabbos and in Yom Chol, in a weekday, almost like two separate entities. Weekday is a weekday, Shabbos is Shabbos, and it's like they have absolutely nothing to do with one another. Shabbos comes in, whether you like it or you don't, and during the week, you do whatever it is you do during the week. You prepare for Shabbos, whatever it is that you do, but it's two separate entities. Shabbos is Kula Kodesh, it's totally holy, it's infinite, it's beyond anything. And the weekday is a weekday. And every single week, obviously, you have 6 days and the seventh day, 6 days and the seventh day, 6 days and the seventh day, just like regularly, two separate entities, one doesn't mesh with the other. I'm fakir to say, do something, on Yom Chol for Shabbos, remember Shabbos from the first day, bring the sanctity of Shabbos, onto the days of the week. But basically, Shabbos is separate and the Yom Chol is separate. In fact, we have nothing to do with the Kedusha of Shabbos. We enter Shabbos because Shabbos Kriya V'Kayama. The Kedusha of Shabbos is constant because Baruch Hu sanctified it, and this is it. We have nothing to do. The only thing that we do is just we get into it and we sort of like annihilate ourselves to the Shabbos, and we become one with the Shabbos. Yom Tov is a very different thing. Yom Tovim usually happen during the week. Suddenly, in the middle of a weekday, one day becomes a Yom Tov, becomes Pesach, Shavuos, or Sukkot. And the Kedusha of Yom Tov does not begin by itself. The Kedusha of Yom Tov is dependent on when we, the Jewish people, decide when is Rosh Chodesh, when does the month start. It used to be that the months were sanctified by seeing the moon. And when we saw the moon, this is to determine when the first of the month is. And except for Rosh Hashanah, all the Yom Tovim happen in the middle of the month, 14th, 15th of the month. And the Torah says, Ele Mo'adei Hashem, Asher Tikru Oisam B'Mayadam. These are the festivals of Hashem, that you should call them at their time. You should determine, you should call them, when their time is. The word atem, is them, called, that they will be, that will happen during their time. It's also the same word, same letters as the word atem, which means you. Chazal said, you are the one who will determine when the festivals will occur. By deciding when Rosh Chodesh is going to be, when the first day of the month is going to be, that determines when the festivals will happen. The source of the festivals is the sanctity of Am Yisrael. That's the thing that lends the power and the sanctity of Yom Tovim to those days, to those festivals. Ad kedei kach, so much so, Chazal say, Ele moyadei Hashem, these are the festivals of Hashem, asher tikru oisam el yodam, that you will call them in their days. Chazal says, even if you're mistaken, and even if you deliberately call, a different day for Rosh Chodesh, that will influence when the Yom Tov is going to be. The Gemara says a Maisa about Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Yeshua, that Rabbi Yeshua made a cheshbon when the Rosh Chodesh is going to be and when Yom Kippur is going to be. And Rabbi Gamliel, who was the president, he was the Nasi, said that it's going to be the day after. There was all hoopla about it, and Rabbi Gamliel told Rabbi Yeshua, I want you to come to me when it's going to be Yom Kippur according to your cheshbon, according to your calculation. And I want you to come to me in Yom Kippur with your staff and with the wallet with your money. We all know that this obviously on Yom Kippur, it's forbidden to do so. So Rabbi Yeshua didn't know what to do. He, on one hand, according Rabbi Yeshua is Rabbi Yeshua, he's going to Bechal Yom Kippur. On the other hand, Rabbi Gamliel told him, come to me when it's be Yom Kippur according to your calculation with your staff and your wallet. So he asked Rabbi Akiva, what should I do? Akiva said, if we are starting to question the authority of Rabbi Gamliel, we can go back questioning the authority of every single Nasi since the days, since Yetzias Mitzrayim. We can't do that. If this is what the Nasi said, this is what we need to do. So Yeshua came to Rabbi Gamliel when it was, according to his cheshbon Yom Kippur, with his staff and with his money pouch, whatever it was. Rabbi Gamliel saw him, he stood up and he kissed him on his forehead and he says, blessed be you, who you are my pupil in this thing, when I told you to come to me, when it's Yom Kippur, and my teacher and everything else. I heard many years ago from Rebel Cheshin, Holy Tzaddik, was a Mekubal and a very, very special man. And I heard from him that as a Nasi, as the head of the generation, he was Tzaddik Ador, Rabbi Gamliel. He was privy to heavenly information that was not known to other people and generation. Excuse me just 1 second. Sorry about that. And there was a very, very strong kitrug, a very strong verdict on the people of Israel. I don't know if it was Rosh Hashanah or if it was, I'm not sure exactly what it was. Or when, but if they would have celebrated Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, in the days when there was supposed to be celebrated, which is the cheshbon of Rabbi Yeshua, the consequences, chas v'shalom, might have been extremely dire. So hold on just 1 second. Just put this on pause. So that's why Gamliel took it upon himself to set Rosh Chodesh on a different day, to make it so that that particular verdict would not bring about whatever calamities were supposed to happen during that day. He couldn't have done it to Shabbos. Kedusha of Shabbos, Kodesh Baruch Hu himself was Mekadesh. The Kedusha of Yom Tov is derived from the Kedusha of Am Yisrael. The Kedusha of the sanctity of Am Yisrael itself. And especially, as we see from Gamliel, the Kedusha of the Tzaddik of the generation. It's Baal Shem Tov, it's Rabbeinu HaKadosh. The Kedusha of the Tzaddikim, the Kedusha of the Tzaddikei Emes, the great Tzaddikim, that's the thing that lends the Kedusha to Yom Tovim. The very sanctity of the Yom Tovim is received by those days, which are regular weekdays, from Am Yisrael, from the Tzaddikim. And what these days reveal is the Rotzon. They reveal the will. They reveal the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to create the world and to pick a nation or amongst the nations of the world, and therefore take a day, which is regular weekday, and make it into a holiday. And all the good Ritzonos, Rabbeinu says, all the good wills of every single Jew throughout the year congregate into the Yom Tov. When we are in the Yom Tov, when we do whatever the mitzvah of the Yom Tov is, whether we eat matzah, whether we sit in sukkah, whether we see the whatever it is that we do, all the good volitions, all the good wishes, all the good yearnings that we have to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu congregate in this day, and by keeping the Yom Tovim, we get it back, as it were. We are zoiche to see, according to our level, another madrega of the mitzvahs of Kodesh Baruch Hu. That we say shalosh pamim b'shana, 3 times a year. Every single male in you will see the face of the Master Hashem. The Yom Tovim. What is it in Yom Tovim that does it? The will. Look, when you read the books that tell you the tales of famous tzaddikim, usually it starts from when he was a very little boy, everybody realized that he's going to be great. He had unbelievable talents, and before you know it, his teachers didn't have what to teach him, and so forth and so on. I'm sure that you all know, all the stories and all the sforim that begin that way. And it's true. But what about us? If we were to write the story of our lives, it most probably would begin from very early on. People realize that we are okay. Nothing to write home about, but all right. And when we went to learn, you know, some of us were better than others. We definitely didn't finish everything our teachers that teach us, like in 6 months, whatever it is, then we would know more than teachers. Most of the time is that our teacher thought that we were, and they were right. We take a look at our lives. We take a look at the olden days, and you see the Jews were this huge, immense tzaddikim, the Tzedek Kodesh Baruch Hu, with such hardships, with practically nothing to eat and no roof over their heads, suffering all these persecutions and Shem Yirachem. And here we are. It didn't see from the first days, from our early days, that we are going to be anything special. And since then, okay. Some of us are better than others. But most of us are a quote unquote nothing to write home about. Or so it seems. We want to learn, but we want to, we don't. Sometimes we want to, sometimes we don't want to. There is Taivas Achila. Maybe we speak about it, maybe we don't speak about it, but we like a good steak. And davening, we talk about davening, the kavana, whatever it is, and sometimes. And it's very easy for us to reach the conclusion that we're worthless. Look, the previous generation, they didn't have what to eat. They were, persecuted from left and right. And they were Moshe Nefesh Kiddush Hashem, like you don't believe. And I'm sitting here, twiddling my thumbs, I don't know, surfing the internet or whatever it is that, that they do. And it's like the answer is, you have absolutely no idea who you are and the value of what you do. That lack of fervor, of dedication, of ambition is the mysterious nefesh that you're going through. Each and every one of us will get to Olam Habo. We're going there certain Shem Yirachem, Ad Hashem Yirachem. It'll be a big surprise. The little things that we are doing, the value of those things in a world that is awash with, it's, I don't have to tell you. There's one thing that we can always do, specifically on Yom Tov, because we get extra help from Yom Tov itself, and that is wish and want to attain the holiness of a Jew. I don't know what it is. All I know is I want to get closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu. I want to get closer to Tzaddikim. It will inject me with the koyach. I'll be able to want to start all over again. I want to start a new life. Rabbeinu said, that there were days that he started like 1,000 times a day. And I don't know if it means literally 1,000 times, but in other words, I started, so start again. So start again. The thing is, the Yetzer Hara tells you, look at you. Look at you. What are you, why are you bothering? Can't you see already? Every time you start, you fail. Just let it go. Come on, be realistic. Don't do it. Don't do it. Start again. What you get, the kedusha that you get, is not for achieving, it's for wanting. Rabbeinu says the only thing that we can do in this world is want to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In the meantime, we're sort of davening and sort of learning. So Rabbeinu said about tzaddikim, how much more so about us. We are now in towards the Shvi Shel Pesach, and Bezat Hashem, tremendous. We are in Yom Tov, and the Yom Tov is getting its kedusha from Am Yisrael, from you, and from me, as it were, from the Tzadikei Amis. They have the koach to give this day a kedusha. You know, they have all kinds of lectures, and how much ink was spilled writing articles about what is the reason for anti-Semitism. And everything is blah, blah. This, that, the Jews are this, the Jews are that. What is? There's only one reason for anti-Semitism. Because we're Jewish. And that's it. Why is it a reason for anti-Semitism? Ask a goy, he knows. Because he lives in this world. That's his life. He's a champion, or he's a loser, he's rich, or he's poor, he's famous, or he's anonymous, he is sane, or he's insane, he is whatever. He's a great artist, or he's dense as anything, it doesn't matter. This is his world. We are not of this world. They keep on persecuting us. And they don't understand that all they can do is kill us, kill our body, that's it. They cannot kill us, no matter what they do. Chas v'shalom, no matter how many of us, chas v'chalila, they can never kill us. We don't belong, we're not of this world, b'chlal. We are not the human manifestation of the animal. We're the human manifestation of godliness. We are Hashem. Yom Tov comes from us. Now it exists in order for us to want to start again, get close to Kodesh Baruch Hu. I mean, on one hand, our Maila is infinite. On the other hand, there's a lot to be desired. When we check ourselves and we check how we behave, there's a lot to be desired. And the Olam Haba is no joke. It's really no joke. Just want to start. Want to start. And if you want enough, you will start. If you fail, you start again. Because Yetzirah can cheat you and fool you 9 ways to Sunday. And everything in the Torah except about this Inyan, this issue of starting again. Start now. Start now. If you are wrong all your life, it doesn't matter. Start now. I mean, this is the only thing that we have is this moment in time. That's it. This day that we're standing on, this hour that we're standing on, this nanosecond we're standing on. That's the only thing we have. And the biggest thing that we can do is we can strengthen ourselves to want to get close to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Wish for it, think it, say it, do something, open up a sefer, something. Whenever you do that, you have taken that fleeting moment and you froze it to eternity. It becomes eternal. Because you took the day, which is a physical entity, and you infused it with the Kedusha Yisrael. You made it infinite. You made it eternal. Let's take a quick look, Bezat Hashem, on Sichos Haran for this week. And here we go. This obviously, is very close to whatever it is that we have been saying until now. Omar, Rabbeinu said, Shelo kemidas HaKadosh Baruch Hu midas v'savada. The nature of Hashem is not like that of people. A person, when he is making himself a piece of clothing. As a betchila in the beginning, when it's new, it's very important by him. And then the older it gets, the clothing article becomes used and the chashivas, the importance becomes less and less and less until a certain point in time we give it away. And the importance of that clothing article is diminished the older it gets. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. And in the beginning, the world was mekulkal, the world was unfixed, was spoiled. And afterwards, every time, the world is getting fixed, and the world is considered more important by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because afterwards came Avram, and Yitzchak, and Yaakov, then came Moshe Rabbeinu, alav shalom, and each time tzaddikim come and they fix the world more and more and more, and the world becomes more and more precious by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Not the other way around. Until at the end, Mashiach will come, Rabbi Yameinu, and that will be the Gemar, the finish, the completion of the Tikkun of the world. The Sicha 239, Reish Lamed Tes. It's exactly what we spoke about. We look back. The generations are going down until it comes down to me. I mean, we obviously Yaakov, Moshe Rabbeinu, and Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, and did all the prophets, all the Nevi'im, and all the tzaddikim, and then he got me jumping on the couch. I mean, but the world with the koich of tzaddikim, the koich of your avodah, and my avodah, becomes better liked, more chashuv back on Shemar. Yeah, so how come I don't see it? Because that's the bechira, isn't it? If I were to see it, where's choice? If I were to realize how important I am back on Shemar, there'll be no temptations. You can see when you got to go somewhere chop immediately because something is momentous. You get there. You like it, you don't like it, you feel like it, you don't feel like it, you're there. If we knew who we really are, if we knew how important we are by Hashem's moment, it's game over. We wouldn't even think of doing anything that is outside of the covet of Kodesh Baruch. Forget about Avera. Even it's not sapasnish, like it's not matim. It's like it doesn't befit the covet of Kodesh Baruch that I should do something like this. I'm a Jew. I should do something that doesn't befit the covet of Kodesh Baruch. But I don't see it because it's Arimazeh. Let Hashem, Kodesh Baruch Hu, should help us all. And let Hashem comes Kriyas Yamsuf, Shvi Shel Pesach. And Hashem will all go and hear the Maaseh of the Nasi of the Baal Shem HaKodesh, that's Israel. This is the day, the Shvi Shel Pesach, when Yamsuf is broken to 12 lanes. This signifies the Bekir, the splitting of Yam HaChochma, the world of wisdom. Before that, right now, we're just going with the Munah. That's it. L'osid love B'ezrat Hashem, after Pesach is over, we have the Koyach of Yom Tov with us, that we also will be able to eat chametz, we'll be able to think, to contemplate, without this throwing us off, because we already have the Das HaKodesh of Kriyas Yamsuf of Yam HaChochma. How did it come about? Am Yisrael called out to Kodesh Baruch. Am Yisrael screamed out to Kodesh Baruch. Nachshon ben Aminadov jumped into the sea. It's a very interesting nakuda. Am Yisrael was standing by the sea. The Mitzrayim is on one hand, on one side. The Yamsuf is another. Am Yisrael is in the middle. And Moshe Rabbeinu calls out to Kodesh Baruch. Kodesh Baruch says, what are you calling out to me? Jump in, go on. Speak to Jewish people and let them travel. Nachshon ben Aminadov steps into the sea, and the water come up and up and up and up and up and up and up, all the way up to here. And it comes to say, and Nachshon ben Aminadov says, what David HaMelech says, Yigiu mayim ad nafesh. The water recede, got to the point of, where you breathe. Nefesh ha'odam is in the nose. Once you get into the underwater, that's it. There's no living anymore. Mayim, the water got to the point of nefesh. That's it. At that point, then the sea broke. Comes the question, if this is what was required to split the sea, why didn't Moshe Rabbeinu do it? Why did Nachshon ben Aminadov was the one to do it? Why didn't Moshe Rabbeinu himself step into the sea and call out to Kodesh Baruch Hu? The answer is that the sea split and all the wisdom came. The water split and the wisdom came down with the koyach of Nachshon's ben Aminadov's belief and faith in Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu says, go into the sea. Moshe Rabbeinu was stepping into the sea. There's no emunah sachamim. There's no belief in the righteous, in the sages. It has to be somebody else believing in Moshe. Then the sea splits. It has to be us believing in the tzaddikim, the koyach of the tzaddikim. Then the sea will split. You should know especially when we're talking tonight, Leilu Nishmas, my mother-in-law. When people get out of this world, it's still not Alma Dikshot. It's still not the world of truth. Neshamas get lost in the Olam Haba. There are all kinds of neshamas that are straying, and they themselves did not get to their tikkun. They're jealous of every neshama that comes there. And they fake, they make people that. The thing is that when a neshama leaves this world, many times it doesn't know that it died. Like you live inside your head, you have your own, whatever it is, you close your eyes, you open your eyes, whatever it is, you look outside, you don't see how you look, and you look in the mirror, then you see how you know how you look. But other than that, there's so many ages inside you. You are 7-year-old, and you are 15-year-old, and you're 20-year-old, and every single age that you ever were, it's almost like a babushka doll, one inside the other. You can visit every single age you want. It doesn't take any time. Some days are good days, some days are bad days. It has something to do with chitzonius. Yeah, chitzonius maybe, the outside one makes it easier or more difficult. But we live inside our head. That life does not stop. And when the body dies and is being put in the keva after 120 years, the neshama doesn't know what's going on. It needs help. They have all kinds of malachei Kabbalah, all kinds of neshamas that are straying, neshamas that lead it astray. A person needs to get to his place in Olam Haba. Only then it's called Olam HaEmes. That's why it's crucial to get close to the tzaddikim. Because a tzaddik is somebody who has a life in this world and next world in exactly the same way. You latch yourself onto the tzaddik, even in a shaman that had no garment of Torah and mitzvahs and anything. If it's close to the tzaddik can give him a garment in Olam Haba. You cannot do any Torah mitzvahs in Olam Haba. The tzaddik can give you a garment in Olam Haba. The main thing is to get close to tzaddikim and listen to the eitzah, to listen to what they do. And when you do that, ba'olam hazeh ba'olam haba, Zat Hashem, you will get to Olam HaEmes, to the world of truth. Each and every one of us. Zat Hashem. Zat Hashem will be zocher to see Zat Hashem Binyam Beis Hamikdash v'Mincha B'Yameinu. Hashem will be able to bring the Korban Pesach and all that, the Korbanos, Zat Hashem, because obviously to serve Kodesh Baruch Hu from this world and is greater than all the entire Olam Haba. Zat Hashem should have Moadim L'Simcha, good Yom Tov to everyone. Obviously, Monday there hasn't been a shir in a long time. We'll have to see something to restart something. I mean, this is it's a little bit too weak what's going on here. Anyhow, as I said, Moadim L'Simcha, and you have a good Yom Tov and a good week.
Good Yom Tov. Toda Rabba.
Kol Tov.